Hi guys, this is Maria and Manos, and you're watching On the Couch with Eminem.
The show to help you build fun and profitable businesses.
On the Couch with Eminem is proudly brought to you by my admin partner and Beyond Figures Bookkeeping.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another edition of On the Couch with Eminem. Joining us today, back from last week, is Dhea Bartlett, the networking queen, as we all know. And thank you for joining us again. And we've had and obviously we haven't left from last week, so
We're still here.
We won't pretend that we haven't. But we talked about networking last week, and we talked about the B&Is and creating a networking platform and getting, obviously, to increase our sphere of influence and hopefully referral business. But once we get that referral business, we go on to relationship building and marketing and maintaining those relationships. Because we always talk about trying to find that new person, going out there to build our funnel. But sometimes we forget about loving the one we're with. And Dhea, you've mastered that in your 10 years of relationship marketing, and we'd love to hear about it all.
Great. Thanks, Maria Manos, again, and thank you all. Relationship marketing, I think the key thing that we always seem to forget is that the first word relationship, we always go let's go marketing, let's go. Yeah. And that if you can do again the 80-20 rule, if you do 80% relationship, 20% marketing, then you're home and hose. When I first started, I used to just think, I'd say I met Maria and I think she's in real estate. I think, what? And if I'm in my day-to-day and I find a real estate article, I might email and go, hey, Maria, I saw this. This would be really, have a read of it, for instance. Or if it's a financial person, I'd say, hey, Bob, I saw this great article in the financial, he probably read it himself. But it's the fact that you're thinking of them, or if there's a clip out, you fold it, put it in the mail, send it just so that you're thinking of people. And then again, your touch point, you
so it's providing value.
Again.
Talking about providing value all the
genuine.
time.
And it's being genuine about
and
it.
the problem is, I did it organically. It wasn't called relationship marketing back 10 years. I'd think, oh my God, I'm sure, when we did jewelry a few years ago, oh my God, you love, marcasite. And I sent it to customers and they'd be like, wow, thanks. I didn't know that Crystal did this or whatever. And it just meant that you had another touch point with the people, and it was sincere. It wasn't to get anything. It was purely to say, you know what, it's even if it was a recipe or something, because you're going out and about. I call it lifestyle marketing. You're seeing so many things. Why not share it? And then again, people will go, gee, she's thoughtful. She remembered, and if you have to take notes of that, take notes. It's somehow in my head, it seems to be in there.
Well, clients love it when you remember what's important to them, especially in real estate, because they invite us into their home and they share, their journey and their destination and where they want to go. But they might not be ready straight away to actually make the move.
Right.
But they might have shared with you that, for example, well, I'm not going to be ready until my kids finish high school, and I would like to move there because they want to go to uni or closer to the city. And then you ring them 6 months to a year later, or most frequently, agents will not be in touch at all, but that person might have connected with you because you were really good on the day.
Yes.
And so that's the thing with salespeople. They can be really good on the day, they nail it, and people love them and they connect with them. But then they'll leave that in between gap for too long. They do not take the notes down, for example, and then the vendor would ring you and say, I'm thinking about now I'm ready. Would you like to come back? But you've forgotten those critical conversations. And then you're asking those silly questions about where you're going again and all that. So that's not a good look. So it's important what you said before, take the notes, making sure that you know what the clients want, and remember to touch base.
All it requires is to sit in the car after you've met with them for 2 minutes and just make a little file. I mean, imagine if they said, we're going to go because my son's studying aeronautical engineering or something. And you'd go and you found something. They might even have that article. It doesn't matter. But imagine, hey, I saw this and thought of you. I mean, thinking of you is such, and it's not, and that you don't go, oh, by the way, are you ready now? That's straight away, you'll just ruin that whole, it'll be like, oh, they only want to get something from me. So
you found an easy way to connect with your clients, and that's SendOutCards. And you've been doing that for how long? Tell us about that journey.
February, this coming, 2019, it'll be 10 years. I literally fell upon it because somebody sent me a card.
Wow.
And I was already thanking my customers.
I know.
Already thanking, handwriting. And then, of course, life gets busy. You forget about, thanking people, and suddenly this card came in. They thanked me for doing a course, and I thought, what I liked about it was and I haven't got them on here, was the address on the back.
Yes.
So I thought, how clever is that marketing, that you throw the envelope away, you've got who it's from, to it's sent to, and it's got the branding of the company. Yeah. And I thought, I like that. So I messaged the girl and I said, how did you, what do you do? She says, look, I don't know. It's this new system. Here's a link. And I thought, it's too hard. Went away. And then I got a second card and I thought, these cards aren't going to leave. So 10 years later.
It was calling you. Your destiny. It was calling you.
And the thing that I found was, because I was in direct selling, and I said before with selling the jewellery, with you had to thank your host. You had to thank the people that booked parties. You had to thank. So if you didn't thank these people, then no wonder things reschedule. I haven't got time for you now. I forgot about it, all this. So when you I just call it the thank you card. If you just thanked people, I'm sure you would find 5 people a day to thank. Yeah. Whether it's your suppliers, whether it's your your signage people, whether it's anyone, like your mum even, not quite, but if your mum's told you about,
tell me, do you
the gardener?
Thank you cards to your mum?
I do. I send her gratitude cards, because I do them in Greek too, which is nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Just sent out on the side. My son's turning 21, so we just sent out his birth. You can do that for anything, to be honest. Invitations, and if you're having launches,
there's something about getting a physical card, especially coming into the mailbox. It comes in the mailbox, you get it, you open it up, and it's a touchy feel, and it's a so different sensation.
Well, we call it, it's bridging the personal, because with this, in an ideal world, we'd love to handwrite everything. We would love it. Who wouldn't sit there? And I'd love desk and stationery, but let's face it, we're busy. And then you got to put your stamp on, and it doesn't happen. You're all busy. So this is the next best thing. But like you said, it bridges the gap between digital and personal. Yes. And of course, if you add a gift in it, we call it lumpy mail. So then people go, what's in there? And again, another anchor.
Glenn Twiddle, lumpy mail.
Yeah, that's right. I think he uses SendOutCards too.
Yeah, he does. Does he really?
I think so,
well, there you go. I never got one from you, Glenn.
I think so. I think someone showed me one. If it's the same person, it might be somebody. But anyway, I have to go and Google that one.
It's all right. We love
him. So then, so you send it in the mail. Again, amongst all the bills and everything, you get something we call little pockets of love.
Yes.
And then, they'll get it, definitely. It just, as long as you keep the marketing bit out of the personal, So, for instance, how many parents pass away, or if they've had a baby, or if their children graduate, jump on the system and send a congratulations, sorry to hear. Yeah. That extra layer, and people go, oh gosh, and it don't have it branded with everything, and
and it's subtle.
It has to be heartfelt and sincere, and it does not. That has a high shelf life.
Yes.
When I said delete before, was it the early one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many emails do you delete?
Oh,
right. But these sit on people's houses for
a long time.
For high shelf life.
Well, I still got all of yours because you put photos in there. So
you're going to throw a photo of your family. That's right.
Yeah,
my dad frames them all.
I think it's clever.
Yeah, and if you're meeting with somebody, if they've sold the house, take a photo of them in the front. Yeah. And then one of the features, which I think we were talking earlier, in a year's time, if you did what we call our set and forget cards, you set it today to trigger off in a year's time, and they're going, congratulations, it's been a year. Yeah.
I think that's so important. Yeah. We do anniversary. I know your brother does it really, really well. It's probably the only one that does it so well in
the anniversary cards.
The anniversary cards, every year. But he does handwrite them, and he handwrites the Christmas card at the same time and puts it away because it can be overwhelming. Think about the last time that we wrote a Christmas card, even to our relatives overseas. We get on Facebook now, on social media, and we wish everyone, Merry Christmas or all that sort of stuff. We've stopped doing those things because they take time.
Well, I send these to my relatives in Greece because I can do it. Like, they haven't got the Greek font, but I can just do that on another, graphic design
You can't
platform.
paste that in there
and
as
I
a picture.
stick it on there, and it actually it's faster
mum.
too because you just dropping and sending. Yeah. But my aunties, they love it because they don't see they're not especially elderly clients or anyone over, I'm not going to say 50, anyone over 60, they love that. And now the young, like we've got a lot of whatever they're called, millennials, I think now, they love it because it's that tangible touch. And because we've got the app now, they can use it on the phone. And
so there's an app?
There's an app,
So how easy is it to actually, because I think this is what, especially salespeople that, are quite busy and they're holding on to quite a few clients, they want to know how easy is it to actually manage this system and keep in touch with their clients.
There's 3 ways you can send a card I haven't got my phone. They took it away from me. You could literally, you get the phone, you swipe the right way, as I say, not the other way. And if you can if you put a post on, like if you type a message on Facebook, put a photo and hit post, that's exactly what, did they say post? Yeah, they say post. Yeah,
post.
We have send. That's about as hard as it is on the phone.
Wow.
If you want to do a bit more campaigns that are more nurture, you might want 5 touch points in a year.
So you can set up a client with 5 touch points. So then you put the text, you create it all.
Yeah, you can do it. And you can either use the cards that are there, or you can fully brand and create your own. Which I think is the best way to do it.
And then you put like a time frame to it.
Yeah.
And then will it remind you? Because things could have changed.
It won't remind you, but it won't send. No, it won't remind you.
Doesn't it say you've got this card due next week to go out? I remember it did that.
Yes, good point, Maria.
I think it does.
I think it does, yeah.
It does. Yeah. Because things could change, you know what I mean? Maybe they have sold already or something.
Well, that's the other thing too. But you've got to know you've got to have your finger on the pulse as well. Of course, as well. But so you could send it out immediate, and then it might be 6 weeks after. You might do a birthday card, a holiday. You can have everything set up, and then it might be an anniversary card. And then you can, what I call rinse repeat, create new ones for the following year and then trigger them off. And like I said, they might, somebody might have passed away when we're sending them cards and things like that. And then you've got the other cards that are a group send that you might want to send the same card. Say, we're all footy fever here in Melbourne. And, you happen to have a listing. You can search, say, if they're Richmond houses or clients, and you might, who won? Oh, Western Australia.
Don't go there, it's a sore point.
I know. Are you Collingwood?
No, Richmond.
So my husband's Collingwood. So my second to Collingwood, so we won't go there either. But we've just dated the video.
Yeah, that's it.
I was going to say, so they have, you might be able to say, okay, footy fever, good luck with if you're, and because you can sort, you can sift the database any way you want through location or through name, obviously. And of course, then you can import the whole database. And it has got anniversary date triggers and birthday triggers. You can import, like, you can send one card to one person or that same card to tens of thousands. So we can actually use it as mail marketing, because a lot of the times, we send to our database an updated market report, because you've got different size cards as well. So you can do it as a brochure, and then you can send to 2,000 people, for example. And it folds it, it puts it in an envelope, with a stamp and an address, and it goes. So it just, you've just eliminated a whole heap of and they get a physical card in the mail.
And they get a physical report in the mail. So I think for real estate, it's...
So hold them up because...
There's a number of real estate people actually using it as a thing. So it's quite... and
it's cost effective as well.
Oh, it is. And the thing is, the fact that you can, if you did a 3-panel card and you spanned the property, the high-end, VIP sort of... It's point of sale materials, cost effective. We know what printing costs. If you would do a glossy brochure, I don't even know how much they cost. But for a few dollars, you can, including the stamp, you can send it to your top 10. You can segment your market, your database any way you want to. If you've got investors, if you've got first-time home buyers, you can just send them a little. And imagine if they got a card of a house that they really wanted, and they went and showed mum and dad, this is the house we wanted, because everything's on the phone and. Everyone's swiping here and you're looking at things. But if you had a physical thing, you could have it on their vision board.
It's a different touch.
There's different ways that, so different markets that, they're repeat clients, first-time owners.
But the most important thing is keeping in touch.
Keeping
in touch in a different way, in a more old-fashioned way where it's more tangible.
And Manos was saying, like, you said as well, is that where is it in that client cycle? Was it prospect day one or is it repeat? And depending what, thank you for thank you for letting me appraise. Thank you for letting me list. Congratulations on the sale. And then what happens is, they say if you do 4 touch points of appreciation, then the 5th one you can say, we're actually looking for referrals in your area. And they're going to say, sure, you've loved me all this time. Here's something back. Here's something back.
So that's the law of reciprocity.
Yes.
That's right. So it is 5 times. On the 5th and following, you'll be able to ask for, if you know anyone out there in the marketplace that I could help, please refer them to me.
We tend to do it the other way around. You say, I've sold, because we're so transactional, we'll go, well, I provided the service, I sold the house. It's like, these days, if I went to Google and went to look for another one, if I don't love you, if you don't show love to me, I want to find something on
Of
Google.
course.
So then what happens is if you've really, after 4 or 5 years, you've been, not just sending cards. No, but if you have been, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to go and find. I don't need to find somebody.
Yeah, you want to become
and if you can't help me in the area, then you're going to go, I trust you to then refer someone. And of course, you're going to send me one of your connections. So I'm not going to go and just Google, especially real estate. I'm not going to Google real estate agents.
The whole point is for us to become their agent before they need one. And then when they need one, to give them, extreme value so they can refer other people. Yeah. And then we can be their agent of choice for their family and their and themselves for the rest of like a solicitor or a doctor. You don't change them every second time.
That's right.
So to position yourself in that sort of, you have to give the value and you have to provide
genuine interest and genuine care.
I have some clients, friends, well, they're not the colleagues, that they have got 100% referral from word of mouth.
Yeah,
100. That's where they get all their listings from. So it can happen.
They've earned the right.
Yes, that's right. They've earned the right. It doesn't happen overnight, but they've done it. Yeah, and that's what you want. Is imagine if you got one a week. Start off. Don't have people go, it's not working, I've tried this. It's like, well, you got to try again.
Yeah, that's right.
And I say reverse it. Think about where you're putting your money. How fast do you give your money away? Or do you want someone to show you a bit of appreciation? There's nothing worse when you don't even get thanked for something. Yeah. And
we live such a busy life. People forget to thank.
Yeah.
They might think about it, but then they don't action it. They don't do it.
Even thank the doorman that opens the door. Like, be nice to people, because you just don't know what effect you have on them, and then the fact that you'll be remembered. And that's not that you're doing it for that, but you just naturally will.
It actually makes you feel better. Good. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
The more positive energy you put out there, the more positive energy is going to come back to you.
Yeah.
So outside of real estate, the people who are using your system and so forth, is there anything, any business, is there anything that they're doing quite uniquely that you think that you could share with the audience?
Well, I think people are getting communities together, it's like you're doing that, the ladies thing. I think that getting people together, again, I think is a great way of, like I know with mortgage brokers, they'll take out their
the appreciation days that I do. Yeah.
They'll take them to lunch, or they'll they will take them to movies or what have you, or sometimes they go to wineries, golf days or what have you, and that seems to work well. Again, you got to have, depending on your budget.
Of course.
We have gorgeous brownies that people go and flood the market with. I'll just send them, sweet treats because they work. People, especially if they arrive 2:00 on a Friday or something, you're ready for a little brownie.
So you've got products now with the cards.
Well,
there's gifts.
And they're really, again, it means that I would say, again, you need a budget. If you can put 10% back to your clients, it's that lifetime value of a client. If you're we like you said, we spend all this money trying to get new clients, but your money is falling out because they say 67%, leaky bucket syndrome, whatever they call it. 67% of people leave through perceived indifference. If I don't know that why should I give you my money?
Yeah.
You answer that. Why should I give you my money? Yeah. And then it'll be
like,
in real estate, in anything, even the butcher. Why should I give him? If I walk in and he's happy and he's engaging and he's talking to me and I have a good shopping experience, well, I'm going to come back. But if he's grumpy, whinging, it's not even if his product is great, but if I don't enjoy that experience, like the Pretty Woman, that Pretty Woman scene when she goes, big mistake.
Exactly.
It's true. Big mistake. So do I. But and that's the thing, is like, love your clients because they are going to be your cheerleaders, and it's free. Like, it's free business if you appreciate it. And like I said, it's the little things like send them a little clipping from the paper, and it might require you to do a bit of a manual cut and paste, but
it's definitely not as hard as it's definitely not as hard as out there door knocking, the letterbox shopping for 3 hours a day to try and find someone.
I can honestly say in all my business, I've never cold called, I've never door knocked, and I think that's very hard and tough. Even and I often send cards to the real estate agents that send me a little thing. I say, hey, have you thought about a nice way to
thank your clients?
Yeah, and I often get a high response because I know they really understand the importance of marketing.
Of course,
and I just feel and connecting. But I don't know. It's like a 1% return if you put 1,000 little letterbox drops. So if that,
that's right. It's low.
It's very low, and it's a hit. And that, but I guess, like everything in the whole big picture, you need your social media, you need your letterbox drops. But I think what's missing is that relationship part of that marketing, where people just they haven't got a tool, which like we have like I said, you said your brother handwrites them. I mean, that's dedication. And
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
you've got to get in touch with George.
Yeah, no,
it's the first person that you're going to call.
Yeah, we've been playing phone tag.
So
Awesome.
we're going to put your details down the bottom
Yeah.
again, so people can actually contact you and maybe you can help them out
absolutely.
with setting
Love
themselves
to.
up.
Or talking about the networking like we did last week.
Yeah,
for
100%.
sure. Love
Awesome.
to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thea. Thanks
you,
for
Thea.
joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us on another episode of On the Couch with Eminem, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers.
Any questions for Dhea? Remember to put them below, and we're going to put her details so you can get in touch and get onto that amazing client nurturing system. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
On the Couch with Eminem is proudly brought to you by my admin partner, the specialist in real estate trust accounting, and Beyond Figures Bookkeeping, the professionals in real estate financial administration.